Just like we have a 4-star response when we're doing our writing, there's like a couple of things I'm looking for to make sure you get a 100. The same is true for story problems. And the reason I look for these things is because this is what everyone thinks about when you're solving story problems in real life. Okay, when you go out and you're like, man, I want to buy this, or I want to figure out if I can fit all my, I don't know, slimes on this shelf. That's a story problem. There's life attached to it. You do these things when you're solving those problems in real life. I also want to look for these things when we are solving story problems in class. Now, you have definitely solved story problems before. A story problem, you might have heard it as a word problem. We're going to have a zillion trillion of them because your life is stories. You don't just go out and all of a sudden someone says, what's 7 times 6? It doesn't happen. That would be really weird. Instead, someone says, hey, I'll cut you a deal. If you buy 7 of them, it'll cost $6 each. It's a story problem. That's what that is. Connor?
What's ELA?
ELA just stands for English Language Arts, so it might be reading or writing. So today we're going to talk about the, I think there's four things that I'm looking for you to do every time we get a story problem. First one's very easy. Remember, if I'm writing, you are writing. Step number 1 will always be the same. Read the problem.
We write those.
If I am writing, you are writing. It's blue math. That makes sense. If you've got to solve a story problem, you probably got to read it.
Read.
We got to know what the problem is. Step number 2. Step number 2 is very important, especially now that we're going to be counting different things. Now that you're getting into some harder math, 3rd grade, 4th grade, and 5th grade, you're going to have harder math, more things to think about as you're getting older. That's how that works. So step number 2. I'll explain this in 1 second. I just want to get all my thoughts down before I forget. You're going to know your unit. That word unit might sound a little tricky to you, but you've actually been doing this the whole time we've been together. That word unit is the thing that you are counting. So when we were doing counting collections, and you had to tell me we were counting leaves, and you wrote the word leaves, that's your unit. That's the thing you're counting. Or if we were counting donuts, like we were a couple of days ago, our unit is donuts. It's the thing you're counting. You got to know what you're counting. So out beside unit, I want you to write the thing you, come on now, count. Thing you count. That's your unit. So I say, Penelope, I need you to go get me 3 baskets of apples. Is she counting shoes? Is she counting shoes?
No.
No. She needs to know what we're counting going to go. I say, Mason, grab me 4 dozen boxes of donuts.
4 dozen?
Is he thinking, okay, I gotta count tissues? No, that doesn't make sense. He has to know what we're counting. He has to know the unit. We're going to write an answer sentence. You're going to get really good at these. These are a sentence without the answer, which sounds kind of crazy. So I might say, Mason was 6 years old, then he grew 3 years. How old is he now? The answer sentence would be, Mason is blank years old. You see how I did put the answer in? Did you hear that? I just said he was blank. Congratulations, you're blank.
Yeah.
So we're going to be practicing that answer sentence. Step number 3. This is probably the second most important step after knowing what it is that you're counting, is to do a model. We're going to talk about some models that we can use. We've been using models. The models that we have been using are counters. That's what we've been using the past couple of days. How many of you have heard of a bar model? A couple of you. All right, I will tell you, I'm obsessed with bar models. I think they're brilliant, and we're going to use them a lot because I know a trick to help you once we get our model to do our last step.
Number 4.
Step number 4. Which is an equation. An equation. We do have to put our math back in math language. Ava, you're writing this down? First I'm writing, you were writing. All of it up till now has probably been in English, but we do have to translate it into math language.
I can't write a Q.
Samaya? It does. You hear the qua, which is a QU. Equation. What's that, Archer? It does have that TIO pattern, which makes shun. All right, so I'm going to pause just to make sure you get these 4 steps down, and then we're going to practice. All right, let's roll. First step. No, absolutely not. First step. What was the first step again? What's the very first thing I got to do? You wrote it on your notebook. If you don't know, look at your notebook because you wrote it down. What's the very first thing I got to do? Brogan, what's the very first thing I got to do?
Make a water bottle.
Absolutely not. Look at your notebook. Look what you wrote down. That's definitely not number 1. I need to read it. I can't start making equations if I don't even know what I'm reading. Miss Miller, it's making banana pudding for a picnic on Saturday. I love banana pudding. Raise your hand for that banana pudding. I don't know what goes in banana pudding. What are some ingredients in banana pudding? I'll give you a hint. Think about the name if you've never had banana pudding, and I bet you could name some ingredients. Cole, what goes in banana pudding? There's definitely bananas in banana pudding.
Oh, by the way, my
Definitely.
sister hates it.
Maverick, what else goes in banana pudding?
Pudding.
Pudding. Pudding goes in banana pudding. I mean, it's groundbreaking. Avery, what else goes in banana pudding?
Sugar.
It's not usually sugar like raw.
No, like, you know what
Any other things in banana pudding? Fine. Some people put like whipped cream in there. Yeah, definitely. Alex. Milk. There can be milk to make the
Eggs.
pudding. There's not eggs. But there's usually those little cookies.
Yeah.
Those little like wafers, vanilla wafers. You know?
It.
Alright, so we know what banana pudding is. I'm making it to go to a picnic on Saturday. I bought 4 bunches of bananas. What's a bunch of bananas? What does that phrase mean? Bunches of bananas. What does that mean? Julian, what does that mean? It's not going to be a bunch as in a lot of things. That's typically how we use a bunch. But that's not that use of that word in this story. Addison? Okay, Maverick, what do you think?
Like packs.
You ever seen?
Like groups of packs.
They are a group. Have you ever seen bananas in the store? You know how they're like all connected together?
Yeah.
That group is called a bunch. That's what it's called. Did you know that? So that little group of bananas, usually like 5, 6, will be stuck together. It's called a bunch. I bought 4 bunches
Oh
of bananas. Does that mean I bought 4 bananas?
no.
Good. I bought 4 bunches of bananas. Does that mean 4 individual bananas?
No, bunch.
No. If it's a bunch, remember it's a group. Okay? Each bunch had 5 bananas. How many bunches did I buy? How many bunches?
4.
Archer? 4. 4 bunches. And each of those bunches had 5 bananas. My question is, how many bananas did Miss Miller buy? We're not making a picture yet. We're not making an equation yet. We need to figure out, what am I counting? What is this question even asking me? Hint, look at the question. What am I trying to figure out? Connor, it might be helpful if you're looking at the screen. Emma? You got it. I'm counting bananas. How many bananas did Miss Miller buy?
5.
I'm counting bananas. Now we're going to write our answer sentence. How many bananas did Miss Miller buy? Miss, I'm writing, that means you're writing. Miller bought. We don't actually know yet. We haven't done any work. So we're going to leave a blank. Miss Miller bought blank. What are we counting? Bananas. That's what we need. That's our unit. That's the thing we're counting. Miss Miller bought blank bananas. That's an answer sentence. Now I know what I'm counting. I've got my space for my answer when I figure it out. So far I've done step 1 and step 2. What is step 3? It's not a trick question. It's in your notebook. That's why we wrote it down. Mason, what's step 3?
Step 3 is the mouth.
Is to model it. Guess what we're about to do? Draw some bananas. Alright, so here is a bunch of bananas. 1 bunch.
Why is it blue?
2 bunch, close by picture. 3 bunch. 4 bunch. Yes, you actually have to draw bunches of bananas. I recommend your bunches look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why did I draw 5 bananas?
It looks like a hand.
Why did I draw 5 bananas? Because I like 5.
I'm not Bob Ross over here. I can't draw that. I'm not Bob Ross.
Just draw a hand. It's not that serious. Avery, why did I draw 5 bananas?
Because, so there might be 4 bunches, but you don't know how much is in the bunches.
I do know how
But now you know 5 is
Yes.
in the bunches.
Each bunch has 5 bananas. That means each of my groups needs 5 bananas. Make them wiggle, it's fine.
Okay.
Draw those bananas. Alright, this will be the only time, Smino, thank you, that I ask you to draw an actual picture of what it is. Because you're right, it just takes too long. This is not Miss Gimbel's class. So instead, we're going to be using what I like to call circles and dots. Because circles and dots, I can do a whole lot faster than trying to draw bananas. Mason's right. No one in here is Bob Ross. Alright, so each of my groups are my bunches, right? They're my groups of bananas. According to the problem Maverick, I had 4 groups. Go ahead and draw 4 big circles. Not huge, just a little bit big. We got to put some dots in there. Those are not my bananas.
How many dots?
Those, whoa. Those are my bunches. Those are my groups. I haven't made the bananas yet.
The bananas are those yellow dots.
Now, inside my groups, I need to put my 5 bananas. Each group, each bunch, has 5. So let's put our 5 dots. Oh, that's right, I didn't make those.
Do we draw the dots?
Draw the dots. Each dot represents a banana. We are going to do another practice one. Yep, so go ahead and turn the page. This one has a really long story, so it's going to look kind of crazy. But we're going to go through those same steps.
Oh.
So, no, you don't need a title. You're right. You're not going to write this. It's a lot. Miss Gimbel's art class is using crayons today. Each table has one box of crayons on it. Can you imagine that? Brogan, no thank you. Each box contains 8 crayons. There are 7 tables in the classroom. How many crayons can Miss Gimbel's students use today? Draw a visual model to show your work. Read that one more time in your head and figure out, what am I counting? What am I counting? If you're not sure, a good place to start is literally the question part. You see my question mark? Pay really close attention to that last part with the question. How many crayons can Miss Gimbel's students use today? Avery, what am I counting in this problem? Crayons. Crayons. Whatever word you choose. What's going to be my answer sentence? Anyone want to try and make an answer sentence? Anybody want to try?
Yeah.
Go for it. So that sounds like an equation. Remember, our answer sentence is our sentence with a blank for the answer.
We write that how many?
Nope, I haven't asked you to write anything yet. Smile, you want to try? Yes, air high five. Miss Gimbel's. This, sure. Or it can just be your answer sentence, that's fine. Miss Gimbel's students have blank crayons. There's what I'm counting. That's what Avery told us. We know we're counting crayons. Make sure you've got that answer sentence. Miss Gimbel's students have blank crayons. We know we're counting crayons. Connor, what's going on with these crayons? What are they doing? They're just flying around the room? What are they doing? Where are these crayons that we're supposed to count? What does it say in the problem? Where are they?
On the tables.
They're on some tables. My tables are going to be my groups. What shape are tables usually, Connor?
I mean, maybe usually circles or squares.
Circles or squares. When I think of tables, I think of like a rectangle, but if you want to make circles, that's fine. Penelope, how many tables are in Miss Gimbel's room in this pretend problem? 7. I'm going to draw 7 rectangles. Colby, why am I drawing 7 rectangles? Because I like rectangles. Why am I drawing 7 rectangles? For the what? Not the crayon boxes. Not the crayons. Crayons. You're right. You're close. All right. Why am I drawing 7 rectangles? They're not crayon boxes because I have more than 7 crayon boxes. Mason?
Students.
They're not students. They're not students. Emma?
The table.
There are 7 tables in the classroom. Those are my tables. Don't they look like tables? make mine more clearly.
Without the chairs.
These are my 7 tables. Art, what are those rectangles?
Tables.
They are tables. Colby, what are those rectangles? They're tables. What's on those tables?
Crayons.
On those tables. Cole, what is on those tables?
Crayons.
Like 100 of them?
No, like 20.
I don't know. Look in the problem. I'm going to read it again. Think. How many crayons? Ready? Each table has 1 box of crayons on it. Each box contains 8 crayons. So Cole, how many crayons are on each table? 8. I can draw 8 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those look like crayons. All right, we're ready. I could draw 8 dots. That would be fine.
Oh, I think I should go.
Because this is a lot, and there are a lot of dots, if you just want to write the number 8, that's fine too. All of those are fine options. Pick what works for your brain. So if your brain, no thank you, Brogan. If your brain likes it to look like crayons, do the tally marks. If you like the dots, go for it. If you would rather just put the number in, that's fine too. Pick what works for your brain and go for it. All right, we read the problem. We figured out what we're counting. And we have a model. What is the last thing we need to do? I love that Penelope just looked back at her notebook. She did not write it down for funsies. If you don't know, it's in your notebook. That's why we wrote it down. Colby? I need an equation. How am I going to figure out all those crayons? Because I know I got to count crayons. What could be an equation? Callie, go for it.
8.
I need an action.
Oh,
It's like saying dog, dog. I need a verb. 8. Subtract, plus. There we go. 8 plus.
plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8.
How many 8 should we have?
7.
7. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're there. What's another equation that I could write that would work to solve this problem? Archer?
7 groups of 8.
7 groups of 8.
7 times 8.
First, Archer said 8 groups of 7, but does 8 groups of 7 match the picture? No, I don't have 8 groups of 7. Archer changed it. He knew what he was doing. That's right. We have 7 groups of 8.
I got one.
What you got, Nathan?
3 groups of 60.
Wow, that is really, really cool. I think I know how you got there. Can I take a guess? All right, so Mason, I think, started looking at our repeated addition and started squishing them together like this. Did you start doing that, Mason?
Yes.
All right, you were so close. What about this guy?
There's exactly 16. 16?
You're so close, though. All right, so we've got what Mason is doing is he's saying 8 plus 8 is 16. Let me scoot this up. Is 16. 8 plus 8 is 16. 8 plus 8 is 16 plus my extra 8 over there. 16 plus 16 is 32 plus another 16 15 is 48, plus another 8 is 56.
I already passed 56.
Oh, sorry. Don't forget to put it in your answer sentence. Miss Kimball students have 56 crayons. Make sure you fill out that answer sentence. Tonight on your homework, I believe you're putting flowers in vases. Yep. Flowers in vases. I should see an answer sentence, a picture, and an equation. Got it? We clear on that?